Welcome to a world made of cardboard. Ever since I was a teenager, Sixshot was my favorite Transformer. Hasbro's Transformers Titans Return Leader Class Sixshot is a fantastic upgrade to the original release. Though the better articulation and details on this modern version add many great features, the toy tends to fall short in some areas. I wanted to improve this and make my Sixshot more like the original. There are many reviews already on YouTube for this toy, but like my video on Fans Project Madlaw, aka Quick Switch, I want to take a look at the upgrades I made to the Hasbro Transformers Titans Return Leader Class Sixshot. First, it should be noted that even though this version has more articulation, many of the joints are floppy, especially the knees. On eBay, I found an upgrade kit that adds not only fillers to the back of the legs, but knee supports. Though not perfect, it did strengthen the knees. Next, I felt the guns supplied with Sixshot were too small and lacked the presence of being big blasters. They just looked hollow. Though they could combine together, they still did not live up to the originals. I even looked at the idea of a Prime Master being able to link with the gun, but it didn't seem to fit for my version of Sixshot. More on that later. The guns could also become the tail of the Winged Wolf mode. Again, a feature I liked, but was missing in the original. Combined, they also made a seat for the Titan Masters. On eBay, I found a kit that supplied fillers for some of the hollow sections from the guns. The Dr. Wu DW-P31 Ninja Upgrade Kit. These fillers looked good, but the color was for the Japanese Legends release and not the American Titans Return release. I thought I could live with this look, but over time it just wasn't working for me. In the Japanese version of Transformers, Sixshot was shown to be a ninja. I never knew this until I was an adult. Also, I was that one kid who was never into ninjas, so the swords, though neat, don't appeal to me. The filler parts could even be used when the guns were combined. I found another gun kit on eBay that sold bigger weapons for Sixshot. Though they couldn't combine, I loved the look of these, especially the silver ones. So these became my upgrade for Sixshot. Next was the Titan Master feature. Essentially, this was the Headmaster concept of the last few years of the G1 Transformers toy line. But this did not fit my version of Sixshot. I loved the idea that he was a solo Transformer assault group. I thought the play on words for the acronym of this function was clever. So this feature was not for me. Even though there were several cockpits for a Titan Master to ride in on Sixshot, the jet mode cockpit was unusable. You're supposed to put the Titan Master in the area of the chest where the helmet would fold up, but this leaves the helmet sticking out the back of the jet mode and it looks like an afterthought. So I found a replacement head. It even had added articulation. It was easy to install and looked fantastic with the red eyes. The Transform Dreamwave TCW-05 upgrade kit not only came with this head, it also came with swords and fully articulated hands. I thought I would try the hands. They were impressive. The hands could even hold the new weapons in the neatly hidden 5mm port. However, these hands have a small plastic filler that holds them onto the post that connects them to Sixshot. I don't know how many times I had to search my desk and on the floor under my desk for these little parts. I found another articulated hand kit on eBay that seemed to be better. However, they required a removable part to be able to hold the guns. Both sets of these hands could not fold up completely into Sixshot's forearm. They took forever to fold up while transforming the toy. They also stuck out in various modes. So I decided not to use posable hands for my Sixshot. I thought I would give the swords a try though. These look impressive, but again, I didn't like the idea of adding swords to my Sixshot. I was never into ninjas and knew nothing of the Japanese cartoon. Also, the 5mm pegs on the sheaths of the swords were a little loose on my copy of this kit, so I decided not to use the swords. The Titan Master gimmick pops up again in Wolf mode. A slot behind the wolf head was made to hold the Titan Master in this mode. Since I was not going to use the Titan Master, I looked for various solutions online. I found a user on Thingiverse who designed a 3D printer filler for this slot. Though they were a free download, I do not have a 3D printer. Also, I knew I would not be able to get the color to match. Another eBay seller offered a 3D printed kit that would totally redesign Sixshot and remove the cockpit and the slot from behind the wolf head. However, the images from the eBay posting all seem to have Sixshot transformed wrong. This past May at a toy show, a seller had a pile of Transformers parts, one of which was a broken Dinobot Enigma from the Power of the Prime's Grimlock. It was the same size as the Titan Master. One of the wings on the side of the Enigma was already broken off, but this was alright because those wings would have gotten in the way and not allowed the part to fit in the slot. I had to cut the other one off. It fits perfectly. The silver and red play off the existing colors of Sixshot. The side view makes the wolf mode look like he has a silver skull cap. This part fits perfectly and allows Sixshot to be transformed into his other modes. There are other features of this version of Sixshot that seem to be forced. The addition of clips for adding ramps was an attempt to make a base mode. The instructions show these clips being used in tank mode. Combining Sixshot with other Transformers doesn't fit the view of him being a solo Transformer assault group. For right now, I just ignore these. One day I might do something, but for now, this will have to remain. In robot mode, Sixshot is formidable. He is now once again a lone fighter in the world of the Transformers. The wolf mode is now complete. The slot behind his head is filled, and he looks powerful with the blasters fit into his shoulders. One of the weaker modes, the tank has many of the characteristics of the original. Though the cockpit can be opened, the addition of the Enigma fills part of it and makes it unusable to hold a figure. Yes, a submarine mode. This seems like an afterthought, almost like they were nearly finished with the design and got the mandate of no guns. Apparently, Hasbro does not want to make a kid-sized role-play gun anymore. A recent video on the Studio Series 86 Megatron confirms this. But we all know what to do, just turn it over for Sixshot's original gun mode. If they wanted to make a different mode that was aquatic in concept, they could have done this. This is a speedboat mode. I created this one day after fiddling with the toy for a while. There was a YouTube video that showed this mode too, but I cannot find the channel or the video anymore. If Hasbro had a real aversion to making a gun mode for Sixshot, they could have gone this route instead. But I think they wanted to sneak in a gun mode into the design and not overly retool the toy. It would have been too expensive. The car mode is the most compact mode of Sixshot. Everything slots into place perfectly. The guns look really nice on top. The jet mode is one of the best modes of Sixshot. I really wish the cannons fit into 5mm ports on the wings and not in a slot connector, but it still looks good. Next to the car mode, this is the most coherent mode. And there he is, Titans Return Sixshot. Is he the perfect version of Sixshot? No. There are several other third-party versions out there. Though they look really good, they don't satisfy my desire for a toy version of this character. For the most part, they are too expensive. I don't want to spend $200 on a toy and be afraid to touch it because I might break it. Though there are some cheap versions, they still don't fit the style that this version does. A simple, improved version of G1 Transformers Sixshot. Though I may not be finished with this upgrade, I think I have an upgraded version closer to my G1 toy I remember and love. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.